Yeah. So, welcome to all of you for joining the open house for this program. I'm going to request Ivan to get us started.
Good evening, everyone. A very warm welcome to all of you joining us today for the open house of B.Tech in Design program at the Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi. We are delighted to have design aspirants from all across the country and beyond gathered here to explore what makes this program truly unique. B.Tech in Design at IIT Delhi is a program designed to nurture innovators who can bridge the gap between engineering precision and design imagination, solving real world problems with empathy and impact. During today's session, we'll take you through the vision and structure of the program, the opportunities it offers, and the kind of projects and careers our students pursue. You'll also get to hear directly from our faculty and the current students. And of course, we'll have time for your questions towards the end. Let's begin by inviting Professor Sumir Singh, the officiating head of our department, to share a few words about our Department of Design, IIT Delhi.
Yeah. So, Professor
Thank you.
Sumer Singh, over to you.
Thank you very much. I was thinking if Professor Rao could address it first, but let me take this opportunity. I welcome you all on behalf of Department of Design. I am the acting head today, and it is my pleasure to invite you to this open house on B.Tech in Design. This is the one of its kind program being offered from IIT Delhi, and other institutes are yet to consider launching such a kind of program. So we are first in the place. And it is a very new kind of initiative in which we are trying to see that how the technical know-how and expertise can be aided with empathy and emotions, and together we can make designers who can make products from concept to reality and drive it through the acumen of technical leadership and make products come in market and reach the users. And this can result into startups, a startup ecosystem, more products, more patents, and bring a lot of problems which are persistent in our society to be solved at this place. And we are looking for a small bunch of people, but great shortlisting criterias are there. Like we need to have uh, a JEE advanced qualified as well as UCID qualification, and this will bring both the parts of the brain to work with a very dedicated team of design faculties over here and already set up an ecosystem of design practice since past 30 years. We assure that we'll do our best, and we look forward that students also have their best time over here by selecting IIT Delhi's B.Tech in Design program. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Sumer. We would request our senior most faculty and former head, Professor P.V.M. Rao, to address this gathering.
Okay, thank you for this opportunity and good evening to all the people who have joined online. Thanks for joining. And I think you will definitely enjoy this session and probably get clarifications to most of your doubts as a part of this session. I'm assuming most of you are school students. Uh, I don't know if some of you are participating in Ministry of Education sponsored program called Buildathon, which is currently on. If you are participating, probably you may have heard me on 10th. We had a 6 lakh schools and more than 1 crore students who joined online for a design thinking session. I'm not sure if you are part of it, but good thing is the B.Tech design program is you already see the current batch of students who are sitting here and very excited about the program. See, whenever we start a new program, we just don't start because we felt that there is a need. It actually comes strongly from many quarters, particularly industry. And unless there is a very strong demand from industry, we usually don't start such program. And this is one such program. And what happened is कि when we talk to industry, industry says कि uh, design and realization of any product actually requires two different type of skills. One which is probably more related to the technical skills, and second which is related to basically the design skills. Just to give an example, suppose let's say if I have to design a coffee maker, neither engineering student can design, nor a design student can design. Not even somebody who is a fresh graduate or somebody who has just 1 year or 2 years experience. Why is that even a product like that cannot be designed by anyone? Is that if you really look at products such as this, it requires a lot of design inputs in terms of user research, user case research. When we say user case research, where will the coffee maker be used? Is it home, office, restaurant, airport? You need a user interface design. You also have to design for various people, for example, elderly, and people who are left-handed, right-handed. It requires a lot of ergonomics and human factors input, and your product has to be really aesthetically beautiful with form, color, and finish. So this part is actually very well done by the designers, and design education actually takes care of many of these. But making a coffee maker also requires a lot of mechanical design, design of a body, brewing chambers, pumps, heating elements, valves, tubing. You need to decide about materials and manufacturing processes. There is a thermodynamics, fluid mechanics, and heat transfer which is involved in design of a coffee maker. You need to know about sensors and PCBs, electrical and mechanical safety. So what happens is that since these two knowledges currently come from two different programs, only way a coffee maker can be designed is only when people collaborate. We are actually trying to start a transdisciplinary program where this knowledge would be available with a single student and they can do that. Industry said that in industry also it is done in teams, but they are particularly looking for people who are design team leaders who actually understand both these knowledges a little bit and actually can lead the design team. So this vacancy has been there for very, very long. And I think we expect the students who graduate will go to industry in a few years. They'll take up design leadership positions in many of the big industries. The second aspect, which is very important, is if you just add technology, design, and little bit of business aspect, you can be a very good entrepreneur. Startups require these three knowledges. Currently, the people who are doing startup has one and they have to basically find two others. Whereas you have an advantage that you already know two. You just have to know a little bit about business aspects, which is also part of this particular program, which we have actually included. The third aspect is when it comes to research, there is a research which is happening in engineering technology, there is a research happening in design, but the intersection of these two areas is even more interesting, where there is a lot of research. We have a program already which is called as minor area in design, where 14 B.Tech branches which we have in IIT Delhi can do 20 credits of design courses, and they can also get what is called as a minor area in design. And when these students actually went in for research and industry, they were extremely highly valued. We keep getting a letters, do you have more students who know both technology, engineering, and design? And we thought this is the best time to start such a program. And last year it was actually started. And another very good thing is that most of the faculty who would be teaching are extremely highly trained in both the aspects. In fact, most of them have spent many years in international best universities, not just education in India. So you'll also have that knowledge. So what we are actually looking at this program is Da Vinci's. Okay, Da Vinci is known for both the for the art and design, as well as he was way ahead of imagining how science, engineering, and technology can build the products. So in fact, we call B.Tech design students as our Da Vinci's. Thank you for joining this, and I hope you will enjoy. And all the best for your preparation for B.Tech design program.
Thank you so much, Professor Rao, for those inspiring words, also sharing the context of why such a program is needed. And the students are also, very inspired, those who have joined online as well as our own students. Now, on that note, I would request our students, B.Tech in Design first year students, Shreya and Archit, to share their perspective on IIT Delhi, Department of Design, as well as the program, B.Tech in Design program. So we'll share our screen. Over to you. Yeah.
Okay. So good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining our online open house. Today, we are talking about a unique and exciting opportunity, the B.Tech in Design program at IIT Delhi. This program is not just about engineering, it's not just about art, it's about fusing the analytical rigor of an IIT with the creative power of design to solve real world challenges. And as our core philosophy states, we invite you to be the change you want to see in the world. Now let's talk why IIT Delhi is a preferred destination. So out of 23 IITs, it attracts 19 of the top 100 and 114 of the top 500 and 196 of the top 1000 J rankers. In 2025, over 3,700 students joined across all of UG, PG, and PhD programs. So IIT Delhi continues to be a top choice among India's brightest minds. Now I would like to hand over to my friend Shreya.
Okay, thank you, Archit. Okay, so why choose IIT Delhi for this journey? So IIT Delhi has top national standings. In the NIRF 2024, IIT Delhi was ranked fourth overall and an incredible second in engineering. Our research is also ranked third nationally. Innovation also stands seventh. So for global recognition, we are recognized globally with a QS World University ranking of 123 for 2026, which is the highest among all IITs. It is also a hub of talent. When you join IIT Delhi, you're joining an elite group. For instance, our admissions consistently bring in nearly 200 students within the top 1000 JEE ranks every year. This is a place where you will be surrounded by the brightest minds in the country with active collaborations with other departments, government, and industry, both in India and abroad. Okay, so the Department of Design at IIT Delhi. So we have the MDis program running from 1994. We formed the Department of Design at IIT Delhi in 2018, which is a vibrant hub of innovation. We have a dedicated team of 13 full-time faculty plus a professor of practice, and we host multiple programs including BDis, MDis, PhD, B.Tech, and a minor degree in B.Tech, as Professor Rao said. The B.Tech in Design is our newest offering starting this academic year 2025. It is a comprehensive 4-year program structured just like any other B.Tech, ensuring you receive the core IIT foundation while specializing in design thinking, problem solving, and creation. The B.Tech in Design is a very interdisciplinary branch which bridges the gap between what is needed in the market and what is available in the market. So I would like Ajinkya to continue.
Okay.
Okay, so there are many aspirants preparing for JEE, and for them, I would like to introduce the UCID exam pattern for them. So the UCID paper has two parts, part A and part B. So in part A include MCQ, MSQ, and NAT. So these all questions covering logical reasoning, design aptitude, general knowledge, basic maths, and some basic history and geography. And in part B, has two questions focus on drawing and sketching skills. So in which you don't need to worry at all because your part A is decided for qualifying UCID. So for UCID preparation, the best strategy you can do is solve all the past year UCID and NID papers. That is more than enough to qualify, according to my friends all, and that's up. Now, if someone is already preparing for G Advanced, they already have strong logical reasoning and problem solving skills. So preparing for UCID became quite manageable for them. So, however, for someone who focusing mainly on UCID, it's important to also prepare for JEE advanced subjects like physics, chem, maths, and since B.Tech design admissions are based mainly on JEE advanced ranking, so you just have to qualify UCID. So, if still you have any question regarding that, you can ask later.
Okay, so let's talk about the B.Tech in design admissions. So it started from this academic year on 2025, and your qualifications should be in UCIT and on JEE Advanced ranking. And you did register for UCIT 2026 between 1st October and 31st October without paying late fees. And you can register till 7th November, but you have to pay extra for it. So, and the UCIT exam is on 18th January 2026. And also follow JEE Advanced timelines for this. And there are 20 seats in this batch. And unlike any other B.Tech program, it's 4 years program.
Okay, so I'll be telling about the experience all of us had in these 3 months in IIT Delhi. The picture you can see on the screen is of us going on a trek nearby our campus to Sanjayvans with one of our professors. And like apart from academics, we have a lot to explore in IIT Delhi, like the clubs and all which we have, and like the celebrations, the fests, everything is so enriching and opportunities which we get. Like we celebrated Diwali at one of our professors' house, the Garba nights, then the pro nights during the RDV, which is one of an cultural fests of IIT Delhi. And again, the celebrations itself in the department, like the Ganesh Chaturthi celebrations and the Onam celebrations, everything has been such a fun. Acads are also pretty good and well managed, and like we all enjoyed, like these 3 months were so good that it felt like a family being in IIT Delhi, and it was a great experience for all of us, and we are looking forward that we will be enjoying a lot in this upcoming years. I would like to hand it over to Professor Jay.
Okay. So thank you so much, Preeti. So students, you might have got a glimpse of what the student experiences have been, and we can't wait to have some of you join the upcoming batch. And so we just take you through some of the other aspects of the program. I think the Google form that you guys had filled in, you had asked some of the questions about what is this program about. Professor Rao, of course, explained it quite well, and Professor Sumer also added to it. Would just like to give you another perspective that this program offers you a lot of flexibility to build your career in the direction you would like, and we would like you guys to be creative and thoughtful problem solvers, and in that regard, we would like you to learn whatever would be needed so that you can become problem solvers. One of the aspects is, for instance, learning the design process. How do you approach a real world problem? Then you also need to understand how do you understand people. how do people work, because the problems have to be solved for people, and people are a little more complex beings, right? So understanding their mindsets, the behaviors, and then designing solutions accordingly. Of course, it's a Bachelor of Technology program, so you would also learn about state-of-the-art prevalent technologies, which IIT Delhi is among the best in India and the world. You'll also get an opportunity to immerse yourself in the real context when you're designing solutions for them. We would also like you to learn the research methods, to understand how do you work with users, and in a scientific manner, how do you test whatever solutions you come up with. Of course, when you do that, this is a transdisciplinary program, but nevertheless, you'd also get to engage and collaborate with students from all across the institute. So teamwork would be important amongst the students of the B.Tech in Design program, with BDES, as well as students from other B.Tech programs. You also get to learn skills to communicate your work very effectively, because you might have done very good work, but then if you are not able to communicate it well, then maybe that is actually an important skill. So these are the generic skills that you would learn in the program, and much more. And then you can fine tune uh, your uh, rest of your journey into areas which interests you. So there are a lot of electives. So this is more about the design foundation, but then through your electives, you can get into areas like healthcare, sustainability, user experience design, product design, design methodologies, behavior design, and the opportunities are endless. This is just again to give you a glimpse of what would be the courses that you would go through during the 4 years that you're here. So 4 years meaning 8 semesters. So the first year, the B.Tech in design students have courses with the other B.Tech students of the institute, where they get a good sense of the pure sciences, some subjects in pure sciences, some in general engineering, and they also get introduced to design. And with the change in the curriculum that has happened from this year, there's more flexibility, and there is more hands-on experiential learning components that are there. In the third and the fourth semesters, the students spend most of their time in the department taking core courses, which I just explained you in the previous slide. That is, design thinking, learning about aesthetics, environment, computer-aided design, prototyping, immersion, art and craft practicum, behavior design, human factors. And there will still be some courses from the rest of the institute as well, since about half of the courses for any B.Tech student are from the institute, and half of them are from the department. In the next 4 semesters, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth semester, like I'd mentioned, you will see there are a lot of electives there. That's where once they've developed a very strong foundation at the institute level, and then a very strong foundation at the department level, then they get to choose, what do they want to become, where do they want to go as far as their careers are concerned. And there will still be some core courses there, like communication, I did tell you, systems thinking, entrepreneurship, which was mentioned by Professor Rao, emerging trends, user experience design, and so on. And what is also very important that you would notice on this slide is that every of the fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth semester, the students get to do a design project in which whatever they have learned so far, their skills, their mindsets, their attitudes, that all gets reflected into the project they want to do. And that's where they also connect with the real world, and you're talking about them wanting to be problem solvers. So facilities wise, like Professor Rao mentioned, that we have some of the best faculty who've been educated and have the academic and the industry experience from some of the best organizations in India and abroad. And so we do have whole host of labs here. You can go to our website and know more about them. Right from user experience lab to assist tech lab for visually impaired, sustainability lab, Quest Lab for quality of life based solutions, Makerspace, you did hear in that Change Makers video, Behavioral Design Lab, Media Technology Lab, a lab for designing serious games, and Design Lab, Human Factors Lab, Mind Lab, and so on. Yeah, makerspace we did talk about. Just a instance of one of the labs, many labs that we did talk about. It's again a state-of-the-art, one of the best facilities in the country, a do-it-yourself facility where the students have the freedom to imagine and make things to lead them to self-discovery through experiential and project-based learning in fun ways. You just see glimpses of some of the projects being done in this space. And we did talk about the change makers, some of the students being there and working on real-world problems in fun ways. We also host some of the very renowned experts in design from all over the world, be it in academia or industry. And here you see glimpses of Professor John Giro, a legend in design, Professor Delphina from Royal College of Art, which is one of the top schools in design, Professor Amresh Chakravarti in the bottom left side. Yeah, he's the head of the Department of Design and Manufacturing at ISC Bangalore. And you also get a glimpse of the design degree show that we host. Some of you may also be wondering about the career prospects. Maybe we can talk more about it during Q&A. But let us assure you that, in terms of the opportunities, some of the students who have pursued a similar program have been placed in some of the best industries, best institutions all over the world, including NGOs, and they've done some very inspiring startups. And besides, with the B.Tech program, you also get the opportunity to have opportunities in non-core branches also. So these are the placements for IIT Delhi from the past year, and you can see in the core jobs, 34% of the job opportunities are in core, but non-core, which is about 2/3 of it, is also available to B.Tech students for their placements in case some of them are interested in other areas. And you also see the logos of some of the top companies from all over the world. Yeah, so I think life at the department, I think the students already talked about it. So for us, celebrating our culture, the way the life happens, in our society is also very important. And so these are glimpses of some of the other festivals that we celebrate, right from Onam to Diwali to Holi and, other things. And so with that, I think we this is probably one of the last slides or second last slide rather, that we welcome you at the Department of Design, IIT Delhi. And through this open house, we would also like to remind you and request you that please do remember to register for UC, since the ranking is on JEE Advanced, but you also need to qualify UC. Having said that, as per the stats from the last year, you should note that out of about 15,000 students who appeared for UC last time, roughly 5,000 of them qualified, which is 30 to 35% of them qualified UC. So you shouldn't get too scared about it. But of course, it is important to register. And so thank you so much. And I think now, yes. And so now we would like to request Professor Srinivasan to take it up from here. Yeah.
All right, thank you. May I request the attendees of this online meeting to type in your questions, your comments, your clarifications in the chat box, and we'll take one question after another.
Let's scroll that down.
I think, Professor Srini, there is already a question in the chat box.
Okay, so let me read out the question. This is from Utkarsh Raghuvanshi. The program is extremely lucrative to me, but the course comes after we make it there. The seats are just 20, so it is less accessible. Due to better awareness, it will be tougher than this year to make it there. Is there a rough idea you can give about JEE Advanced ranking required to make it there for the next batch? Jay, would you know what ranking
Yes,
that students?
this year was it's up to from 8K to 12K. No,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like that.
Yeah, so one of the students, Archit, is telling us that the rankings were between 8,000 and 12,000. You can also go to the JOSA website
Yes.
to get the very specific numbers. Yes, you're right, Utkarsh, on one hand, that we are very excited about this program, the students as well as faculty. And like Professor Rao said, this was a need, that was not being fulfilled from a long time. And so it's going to get more competitive. But in terms of saying that, that 20 seats, so one is, of course, we would want to expand on this program, of course, subject to, others being okay with it. But we also come to know that this such similar programs are also being coming up in different parts of the country. So I think keep your hopes up, and I'm sure if you are interested, then you will find a way.
Sir, I would like to add on. The rankings which were for last year, like probably most of the students didn't know about UCID examinations. So it's a very high possibility that in this upcoming year, the closing ranks will be lesser as compared to last year, because now people are knowing about UCID and the way you have to just qualify UCID, and then according to your advanced ranking, you will be given this like you will be in this branch. So I would suggest that don't just stick to that rank, that it's fine if we get this rank, because it is gonna get tougher. Yeah.
Okay, let's move to the next question. Relatively simple question from Akshit. Will there be an increase in the student intake for this program next year? No, there will be no increase in the intake. We'll take only 20 students. But having said that, that once you are in the IIT Delhi ecosystem, there is something called as a branch change. That if you do academically well, that the top 10% of the students get to choose a branch of their choice. So at best, we'll be able to have 2 more students, but that is assuming that you've already entered the IIT Delhi system. Okay. Okay, moving to the next question from Shaurya. Can I become an automobile designer after completing this program? What kind of job profile will I have? Professor Sumer, are you there? Would you be able to answer this
Yes.
question? Yeah.
Yes, I'm there. See, automobile design is a very competitive field, and you need to have a very strong portfolio. In any discipline of design, there needs to be a strong portfolio. So if you do your projects and assignments to orient yourself towards automobile design, there is a huge possibility that you can become an automobile designer. And for any such interest amongst the students, the program gives you that flexibility. You have courses which gives a lot of flexibility. You have electives which have another set of flexibility, and then you have projects, internships, and luckily a lot of alumnus from IIT Delhi's design program, like Masters of Design, are doing quite good in industry. We have our alumni working in Ashok Leyland, Tata Motors, and Maruti Suzuki, Honda R&D. One of our alumni is also founder of this River Ride new scooty company. So you need to prepare your portfolio. That is the whole summary.
Okay, thank you, Professor Sumer. So we actually have a very rich tradition of sending people to the automotive industry, and we hope to continue with this trend. Okay, the next question is from Nirupa, and she wants to know the difference between design engineering and engineering design in B.Tech. Professor Rao, would you be able to take this question?
I can take it up.
Okay, Professor Sumer, yeah. Okay.
Design engineering, as you see, it is an engineering, whereas engineering design, as you see by the name, it is design. So design engineering will be like any engineering discipline which will have courses which you complete for credits. However, you won't have a strong portfolio which the program expects you to come up with. In engineering design, you will have courses which are design oriented, and you will have to have a portfolio which claims you to be a designer and lands you in a design industry.
Okay, so the gist of the response is that the difference lies in the composition of the courses between design and engineering. Okay, so that's the gist. Next question is from Minal Mishra. Is UCET required for this program, or is JEE Advanced also required? I think the question has been answered, but let me reiterate. You need both JEE Advanced and UCET for this program. We are going to use the JEE Advanced ranking and the UCET qualification for the B.Tech in Design program.
Yeah. Yeah. Are there any other questions? You could also either type in the chat or maybe speak up as well. Is that?
You can.
Yeah. I mean,
But one at a time, I guess. You should raise your hands, right?
Yeah. So, yeah. So next question is from Mukesh Madnani. Can we match with design college student? I don't think I understand the question very well.
Do you mean with Mukesh? Do you mean with BDES students or
With other design students, can we match?
Match as in compete?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Compete, it really depends on what kinds of skills I think you would acquire. I think just by looking at it, I mean, all students we believe have good capabilities now, or equal capabilities. Now it is up to you as to how much you absorb the contents that is thrown at you. And of course, it will depend on what aspect you're going to compete for. Okay. So otherwise, I would say, yes, all the students are the same, and yeah.
please continue. Sorry.
Yeah.
Just to add to this, IIT Delhi design program is among the top design programs in the country. And we also, apart from the B.Tech in design program, we also have a BDES program. And, and we really admire, or we are very excited about the prospects that both the programs offer. And so both of them have their own niches, right? And so BDES, I think it's more of a disciplinary program in design where 90% of the courses are in design and 10% are, outside the department. B.Tech in design, like Professor Rao mentioned, it's a transdisciplinary program with 50% of the courses at the institute level, 50% in the design. I think maybe BDES may lead to career prospects which are more specialized or disciplinary in design. As far as B.Tech in design is concerned, I think it should lead to creation of more generalist design leaders, entrepreneurs. So that is the sense. But I think with the flexibility that both the programs offer, it is possible to move between one and the other also. And there are some common courses also between our BDES and the B.Tech in design students. Yeah.
So next question is from Himanshu Garg. Will this design course include game design? To clarify, it will depend on you. Game design is offered as an elective to the student. So if you want to choose game design as an elective, you are free to choose, Himanshu. The next question is from Aikansh Goswami. Is it similar to design thinking? So design thinking is one of the courses that is being offered in this program. In addition to design thinking, you will also have things like the life cycle thinking, the environmental thinking, behavioral thinking, and so on. Right. So many other aspects of thinking, and even entrepreneurship thinking to a certain extent. Right. So yeah, a little more comprehensive way of thinking about problems. The next question is from a user named iPad. Is 500 students have written both exam and UCET have been cleared, but no rank in JEE, but have top 20 within that 500. So
They have rank in UCET, but not the rank.
You'll need a rank in JEE.
Yeah, you need to have a rank in JEE Advanced. I think with the top rank in UCET, you will be eligible for the BDES program. BDES program across the country. Yeah.
Yeah, guys, any other comments, suggestions, questions? Yeah.
Okay, Utkarsh Raghuvanshi comes up with another question. Will other institutes come up with B.Tech in Design program for 2026? That's a question for the other institutes. It's something that we'll not be able to say right now. I mean, but at least in terms of IITs, you'll be able to see what degrees they offer from their websites and from the JEE brochure, JEE and the UC brochure.
Maybe just to add to that, IIT Indore, for instance, I came to know they have started a BDES program in innovation. Although it's a BDES program, but getting a little bit on the innovation or problem solving side. Likewise, I think, Charan, do you want to add? You also mentioned there's some program.
There's a new this thing, triple IT Kanchipuram, I guess. I'm not sure which triple IT.
Triple IT DM Kanchi.
Yeah, they have also decided to introduce a B.Tech program in design. So it's almost like us, but it's more oriented towards engineering rather than we ourselves are more. We are in a place where we value both design and engineering. And there's it's a bit similar, but they have their own way of doing, and we have our own way of doing.
Right. So there are more programs like that coming up, is what we wanted to share.
Okay. Next question is from Anurag Agrawal. What are the higher studies options after the completion of bachelor's in design? So, Jay, do you want to take this up?
Sure. So you mean bachelor's in design or bachelor's of technology in design, or both, Anurag? Maybe I'll respond
I think
for
we can address to B.Tech in design.
B.Tech in design, since that's what the open house is for. So higher studies wise, there are a lot of good design schools in India and abroad, and the possibilities are tremendous. I mean, in fact, our head of the department, who couldn't be here today, I mean, he's on leave. So in fact, the program that he did at IIT Guwahati, that's where also JEE Advanced ranking plus a design test was needed. And so he's our head now. So you already can see that, he did higher studies, and now he's the head of the department here. I also know of students who've done a similar program and have been at some of the top institutions in the world, uh, like MIT Media Lab is one. In fact, our founding faculty here, Professor Lalit Kumar Das, I think he also did do his higher studies in Royal College of Art. It's number one design program in the world. So yes, the options are tremendous, and our students or here or doing similar programs elsewhere do go for higher studies in some of the top institutions in the world. Hope that answers your question, Anurag.
Yeah, so just adding to that, the options are in terms of masters, you could either go to the design schools, you can even go to the technology or the engineering schools. Those are options. If you're more research oriented, you can directly jump to PhD. That's another option. And among one of the most popular options is many of our students also go for the MBA programs. MBA programs either within the country to the elite management business schools and to business schools abroad. So these are broadly the various options that you have in terms of master and doctoral. Okay, so we'll move on to the next question. Pashwan Sargadam, how can this course remain relevant despite AI advancement? So Jay, do you want to take this up?
Sure. So like we did say that while design and technology, I think both are strengths of the faculty within our department and also of the institute. But in spite of the AI advancement, I think what I would like to add is maybe AI can help, on the art or the technology side, like some of the coding jobs, we do say that, now things will have to be done differently, like was on the art side. But here, I think our focus is also on understanding people, how people work. And as complex as people are, I mean, our sense is that, the understanding of people, the understanding of empathy, how do people make decisions? And so the kind of training that our students get, that is something we don't think that AI will be able to get to, and it hasn't been able to get to as of now. So I think in the 21st century, perhaps design programs like B.Tech in design are going to become more and more relevant than ever because of the AI advancement. That's what our sense is. But even now, I think we do see that, AI can probably help work in a co-pilot mode and help people become better and worry more about the more advanced problems rather than the mundane jobs. And so I think with that, I think we are very excited about the prospect of using AI with design, where we look at the understanding complex human mind and designing solutions around them. So hope that helps, Bhashwant, with your question.
So again, adding to that, Bashwant, I mean, there's been research that has demonstrated that the combination of human and AI is much better than just the AI alone or just the humans alone. So we believe that also training humans, which is as important as training the AI to do the right things. So human and AI is what we aim to do in this course. Okay, so the next question is from iPad again. I think the question is, what are the post-graduation possibilities available? I think this has already been answered. So yeah, options are masters and PhD, masters both in design schools. It is very, very important to have a good design portfolio. So as you undertake this course, B.Tech in design, it's important that you build a good design portfolio, and we'll guide you towards building that. And then that will help you get admission into masters in the design schools. Some of our B.Tech students who've undertaken masters minor in design have gone on to good design schools, including the Royal College in Art, the CMU Design School, and so on. And of course, if you're interested in research, you can directly decide to do a PhD. If you have an entrepreneurial bent of mind, you can do an MBA program. Shaurya, the question from Shaurya, how is this program different from conventional B.Tech programs?
Any of students, do you want to share your perspective? We could also do that.
How is it different from the other B.Tech?
Although we know you are in the first year, but if you have a perspective to share.
So basically, our program B.Tech in Design is kind of very unique in its sense. The normal traditional.
Yeah, so we will be responding. Yeah, check.
Okay, in my perspective itself, I'll speak. The normal traditional B.Tech courses, let it be any course, they have a set of like a proper pathway into the specialization they're in. Being B.Tech in design, we here, 20 of us in this first batch, we have very vast different ideas and ways we want to spread into. This course will give us some chance, opportunity to have multidisciplinary options. Let it be like if like we asked about the automotive, people can move into automotive design, people can move into game design. Any design is depending on what you choose in the next 4 years of elective courses you take, which is the main thing about our course, interdisciplinary. The other B.Tech courses do not have this option. They are more core related. They teach you, I mean, you have an option to go placements in non-course, but what they teach you is what is core related to their branch. But ours, you can choose to even study their courses also. We have an option where our department electives are not only that you can choose. You can choose other department electives. Example being in biotechnology department in our campus, you can take into bio designing, like medicine design, biomedical design.
Biomedical design.
We have, so you can study that as well in our this thing in our course, but it's not possible for other departments or other branches to have an option to study this. So our program has an option of flexibility where you can do anything you like, but you need to have a proper plan with the courses you choose in the next 4 years, which will give you a better chance in whatever you want to pursue later.
I would like to add on that. Uh, Getting a chance, like we have an opportunity where we are being an engineer also and a designer also. So we are we are learning both the perspectives, and that is obviously going to help us in building whatever we are thinking to build off, and the problem solving and all. So it's basically that we will be learning more social stuff also, and also something which will help us enhance our product or whatever we are thinking of in our future. So yeah.
Yeah, so just adding to the responses from the students, the learning in B.Tech in design is going to be very hands-on, in the sense that it's not just the learning through paper. So whatever you just write the formula that is not enough. So then whatever you've learned or you've derived on paper gets translated into real life. So you would still have to make things that are tangible and show that it is really effective or useful for the user. So the hands-on learning component is another very serious part. The other part is in terms of the pedagogy. We have only 20 students here. We've deliberately taken only 20 students so as to have a better teacher-student interaction, as opposed to the other B.Tech programs that the size of those programs may vary from about 50 to 100 and so on. So the student-teacher interaction also we hope will be better with this kind of an intake.
I would just like to add one more point, just to maybe also sum up, I think, what was shared by Charan, and also like what Professor Srinivasan said. As per our new education policy, it does talk about that, the students should get exposed to hands-on learning, experiential learning, design thinking, empathy, and creativity, thinking out of the box. So when we compared to other conventional B.Tech programs, this program, I mean, other programs are also evolving, of course, with time, but this program is just about that. If you are creative, if you are an empathetic individual as well, and if you are a problem solver, then this is a program for you. And it is slightly different in the sense that we teach you the generic processes such that, this program provides you the flexibility to get into any direction that you would like, either it be healthcare, sustainability side. I mean, that is more of the applied side, problem solving side, or it could also be in areas like, game design, I think, like it was mentioned, user experience design. So the possibilities become endless. And so with that, I think there is more ownership for the students that how do you want what they want to shape up their career? Because when they join, maybe they may have some sense, but then over time, they get a sense of, okay, maybe they want their career to move in this direction or that direction. Then in that sense, probably this program would offer you more opportunities than other programs. That is what I think we think.
Okay, thank you. We move to the next question from Ritu Dawar. Will the students pursuing this course have exposure for companies offering placements for BDES as well as B.Tech engineering? I assume, okay. So the answer is both yes and no. Yes, if you are able to also build good design portfolio, then you put yourself on equal footing with the other students. And on the other hand, you also learn skills that the other B.Tech students at the institute get. So you put then, I mean, it's important to have a good GPA, right? I think the minimum GPA of 7 or 7.5 that you need to have by the end of semester 5 or semester 6 in order to qualify for placements. And after that, it is based on the individual portfolios of the companies as to what specifically they require in terms of the students.
Maybe I'll also like to just add here. I mean, I would like to add that probably this B.Tech in design program will have students who will create a niche for themselves as well. Uh, for instance, if you compare it with BDES program, so here the students would have the technology and research-based skills such that whatever problem has been identified, they if they want to, they can take it all the way to completion, right? There is a saying, that one of our faculty does say, which is designers create, engineers optimize, and managers monetize, right? So in that sense, if there is got to be something that has to be created, considering many different dimensions of a problem, be it social, cultural, technical, the way the society is, right? So that's where our students will have the BDES as well as B.Tech and design students will have a good sense of how do you understand that problem in a very systemic context, in the way the human minds work, very, very complex minds. But then with that, they'll also have a sense of a generalist to figure out, okay, how do you find a solution to that problem? And that is something the BDES students may be a little more better on the communication side or maybe understanding problem side, but then finding solution side, maybe this is where our students may also be able to look at this. When you look at the engineering students, maybe they may be better to optimize solutions once the solution has been found, but then to think of how people work, that's where probably, so the B.Tech in design students could get the best of both worlds. And having said that, there is a lot more flexibility also there. In case they want to go a little bit more on the B.Tech side, a little bit more on the engineering side, so that possibility also exists. But of course, I think maybe one of the, you guys will have to come to our so IIT Delhi, by the way, is having an open house on 8th of November. So either there or some other ways, let's have a longer conversation to discuss some of these things.
Okay, all right, thank you. Next question from Akshit. I have been preparing for UC, but ever since I got to know about this program, I'm inclined towards it. So should I prepare for JEE Advanced too? Is it probable to get into this program with such less intake for someone who has not prepared much for JEE Advanced? So like we said earlier, the admission for this program is based on JEE Advanced ranking and UC qualification. So you need to do well in both these exams. It's tough to predict for what ranking you will get in this program. Again, qualification criteria for UC might also change. So my point is you prepare for both these exams well. Now it is up to you. You know what your strengths and weaknesses are. It's up to you now to how you want to channelize your time, how much time you're going to spare for UC, how much for the JEE Advanced.
We can also
and put yourself on a good footing so that you have a happy headache. For example, you are eligible for admission into both the BDES and the B.Tech design programs, right? That is still a headache, but then that's a happy headache to have rather than another kind of headache. Yeah.
Just wondering, as students, do you want to share a perspective?
I'd like to say something. It is about how do you manage UCEED and advance. First thing is UCEED is going to be on the 18th of Jan. So you'll have almost 5 months after the UCEED exam to write advance. Between you'll have mains too. Thing is, UCEED, you only have to qualify part A. Part A is, which my friend have explained. It is, if you are a proper JEE advanced student, like when you're prepared well for advanced, being advanced the toughest exam in the country right now, it is the same toughness. It's going to be the same exam that any other B.Tech students are writing. There's no different exam. You'll have to prepare the same way. You'll have to put the hard work in it. But talking about UCEED, you will have to also study well in the exam for part A. Part B, even if you're not good, but it is worth it. Part A is what we are looking for as a qualification. And you'll have time to study for advance as well. Studying now for UCEED, having it for another 3 months, we have time. You will be able to qualify the exam easily. It's possible.
So, sorry, any other? Do you want to add some perspective? It's good. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, you need to strategize. See, getting a rank in UCEED versus qualifying UCEED are two different things. And likewise, JEE Advanced also getting a rank. So, yeah, ideally, maybe if you are smart enough, you can crack both. But then if you might also want to be focused. So it's up to you. I think a lot of perspectives have been shared. Yeah.
Okay. Next question is from a user named SM. The detailed curriculum isn't available on the website. Like what electives are available? So Jay, if you want
right. So we will. So of course the program is shared, right, on our B.Tech in Design website, and the core courses are shared. What the electives are going to be, maybe we will update that on our website maybe within a week or two. So we'll do that. But just to give you a sense of it, in terms of the electives that are offered, there could be electives, say, on, say, healthcare design, game design, filmmaking, visual communications. There could be electives like I think Charan mentioned on the biomechanics side. There could be advanced topics in, say, on the systems thinking side, sustainable habitat side. I mean, so what I would suggest is behavioral design side. So what we would suggest is you can also look up the profiles of our faculty and the kind of interest they have, and and whatever interest that you see for them, the electives accordingly are going to be there. But we do have a list of electives, and we will probably upload it in our website also very soon.
Yeah. So in addition to these departmental electives, you will also have open electives where you can take courses from the other departments depending on where your interest lies. Okay, so next question is from Govardhan Ravi Pradam. Could you elaborate on the kinds of professional roles that B.Tech in design graduates from IIT Delhi are likely to pursue across industries? Jay, do you want to?
Sure, sure.
Yeah.
So like I said, there was such a program that used to run in IIT Guwahati, where our head of the department did his Bachelor's of Design from. And I also did, he was my batchmate, and so I did my B.Tech from that institute. So I also very closely know such graduates, and also my, one of the other students who's related to me also graduated from that program. And so what I would like to say, and that program existed at IIT Guwahati for 15 years, right? And so maybe because this is a new program, but then there was a similar program, so I can just tell you what are the kind of industries that those graduates were in. In fact, some of them are. I just talked to one of them who's in Google in US, working there as a user experience designer. Another one has some of them are having startups, which are multi-million dollar startups in US as well as in India. Some of them are at Apple as well. As far as India is concerned, there are folks who have their own studios, design studios. Um, one moment, what do I do? I'm sorry, one minute. Has asked you to start AI company. I don't know how it works. Should I just deny for now? Yeah, sorry. Yeah. So so there are students who are working in the areas of user experience design, as well as communication design. Some of them are trying to merge communication design with blockchains. Some of them are in product design. I think so. The possibilities are endless. And what I'm telling you is, one is, of course, what are the kind of designers we will produce? That is something we can talk about. But what are the kind of designers who have done similar programs are already existing? Now, if you also want to ask us that what is the probability, other possibilities that may come up in the current context, then of course, like we said, I think we would like our students to be problem solvers, creative and empathetic problem solvers. And then some of the the grand challenges of the world, I think. So our department has identified 5 thrust areas uh, where we would like our students and our faculty to focus on. One of them is, for instance, the environmental challenges, sustainability paradigms, then also health and wellness. So health and wellness side also we would like our students to work in. Then culture and tradition is another area where we would like to take advantage of that. That how does that help in terms of improving the wellness? Policy side, we are based in Delhi, the political capital, and also on the education side. In fact, we recently were working on a proposal for Ministry of Education related to AI for education, where how do you impart the skills related to design thinking, uh, creative abilities, experiential thinking, hands-on learning to many of our students all over the country. I think Professor Rao was talking about him giving such a seminar to more than 1 crore students very recently, right? So that is also something, the new education policy. If you do read that document, then a lot of the things it talks about are related to what the design offers. But then, how do you then take it to many, many, many more students beyond design? I think that's going to be a challenge, and so the roles are going to be, there are going to be tremendous possibilities.
Okay, so the gist of it is that you could take up roles in industry, you could take up roles in academia, even become the head of one of the leading design schools in India in the future, and you can take up entrepreneurship career. So the unique thing about IIT Delhi ecosystem is that among the unicorns in India, or the IIT Delhi IIT unicorns in India, IIT Delhi has the highest share of the unicorns. So we also have a very unique ecosystem for entrepreneurship. So all of these careers are possible, and many other careers are also possible, which are as a byproduct of the what we offer in the IIT Delhi ecosystem. Next question is from iPad again. How can I approach PG in design in NID or IIT? given that this is an open house for the B.Tech in design, I would ask you to get into one of the UG programs at IIT Delhi before I can give you answers for these. So maybe, I don't know, maybe you can write to one of us in person and we'll be able to advise you what is it that specifically PG programs and NIDs and IITs look for in design specifically. Okay, so the next question is from Meher Madnani. In B.Tech design, do you feel the process is more structured and outcome driven, while interdisciplinary is more exploratory? I wouldn't say so. I mean, even the interdisciplinary, the multidisciplinary, and the transdisciplinary components have also been structured systematically in this program, right? So we think that the merging of all the different kinds of disciplines, the working between at the boundaries of the disciplines will bring you unique output. So these have also been designed specifically in the program. So it is not just exploratory. Do you want to add something to that?
Yeah. So the process is structured in a way, but you get to learn some of the processes which are important to be able to address any real world problem, which is well defined, but then they are still generic enough such that you can get into solving any of the problems. For instance, the design thinking, the systems thinking, be it understanding users, prototyping. So with those courses, you can apply those skills to just about any problem. And as far as the interdisciplinary part is concerned, it is not just mere exploratory, but say somebody just identifies that they get interested, that they want to work on the environmental side and work on microplastics. In fact, I don't know if you were able to join when we had shown you the change makers video, right? So that's where some students got interested into microplastics. Then there is a possibility they can actually work in labs where they work in microplastics and then get deeper into that area. So it's not just exploratory, but because these students would also have skills on the technology and the research and the science side, so they could actually make their careers in that direction itself. And likewise, like I said, some of the other students who I know, so they of course, they were very interested in design, but developing the next generation of teaching tools online. And so some of them, they got deeper into computer science and design, and they've come up with a platform which is next generation, and then can really help change the way education happens. So yeah, I think it's more than that they are. I think the good thing about this program is, while it is outcome driven, but then the students can take it to its conclusion to cause impact. So that's what I think I could add.
Okay, moving to the next question. I'm aware that all branches are extremely important, but would you say one of the B.Tech or B.Tech design, BDES or B.Tech design is more prestigious than the other? If someone is eligible for both BDES and B.Tech program, he should choose what in what scenario? From the department's point of view, both these programs are equally prestigious. And the department takes great pride in offering both these programs, in addition to the MDes and the PhD program and the minor in design. So we do not differentiate in those aspects. Now, if someone becomes eligible or someone gets admitted for both the BDES and the B.Tech programs, what should he or she choose in what scenario? It is really up to the individual, right? The individuals can look at what is the course offerings in both these programs and then choose what program is convenient or convivial for the individual, depending on what they are aligned towards and what is it that they would like to learn. Okay, so that is really up to the individual. We don't differentiate in terms of those aspects.
Yeah, just like to add that it also may depend on person to person. You should look up what is the curriculum of B.Tech in design like, BDES like, Bachelors of Design like, and also just get a sense, and then maybe then the person can decide for himself or herself that what would work better for them. Like we said, the BDES program is more of a disciplinary program. B.Tech in design is a transdisciplinary program with it's half and half between technology and design. So I think we, like Professor Srinivasan said, we take pride in both our programs, and in fact there is some common courses also that these students are going to take. Out of the 12 core courses or 13 core courses that B.Tech design students have, 4 of those courses are actually common between these two batches as well, where we feel that both of these programs, the students, they'll complement each other quite well.
Yeah. So in addition to that, I mean, whether you choose B.Tech design or B.Tech program, you get to still see the 14 faces of the professors here. Okay, the same faces that you get to see, whether you like it or not. Okay. Yeah. So next question is from Meher Madani. Another laddering question to my previous question is that, do you think the industry values interdisciplinary thinking as much as technical design depth? From what I know of industry, the industry values both the technical depth as well as the interdisciplinary thinking. It really depends at what roles do you fill. I think typically for beginners, they expect a lot more expertise with the disciplines, right? Unless you know have an in-depth knowledge of the disciplines, you wouldn't know where the discipline begins and where the discipline ends, right? So in-depth knowledge of a discipline is very important for you to have knowledge of interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary aspects as well. So I would say you need to master both these aspects if you want to get into industry.
Maybe I'd also like to add that yeah, I mean the kind of program that we offer is more T-shaped. That is, there is breadth, but then you can get into the depth also. But having said that, there are two kinds of people also, especially in design, that becomes important. That is, some of them would be more generalists. That is, they want to look at the bigger picture, the systems, and then figure out, okay, which direction should we move in. And there would be some who will be specialists, who will get deeper in certain areas. I think we need both kinds of people, right? So some may be such, the program is such that, it will give you the T-shaped kind of curriculum, breadth with some depth. But at the same time, if there are some of you who would like to become more of like generalists versus specialists, then I think both options are possible. And I think the industry values both kinds of people is what we feel.
Okay, next question from the same person. As you mentioned, this program involves the research component. However, another college offers a pathway specifically called design research. So I wanted to understand how the two differ. I don't know which college you're referring to. The term design research is used to mean multiple things. I don't know what this college is specifically offering when they say design research. But if you just read about the Wikipedia article on design research, you will see that design research means, for example, research in design, research into design, research by design, and so on. Right? In this specific program, we offer all these means at varying depths. Right? So you have research in design, you have research into design, if you want to choose that as an elective, and you also have research through design that is also offered as an elective.
Yeah, in fact, just to add to that, I mean, Professor Srinivasan may not blow his own trumpet, but I think he is one of the very well-known design researchers in the country, and he also offers, I think, design research methodology courses. So, yeah, I think we have great expertise in design research. Yeah.
Okay. Next question is from Anurag Agrawal. Will it be difficult for somebody to survive and perform well if one makes it to the IIT Delhi B.Tech in design program, as if they come from a non-traditional design background and haven't been very creative since childhood? I mean, let me give you a twisted answer to this, okay? That irrespective of whether you're going to come from whatever you mean by a traditional or non-traditional design background, you still have to work hard here to do well in the IIT Delhi ecosystem, right? And the important thing is in design programs, what we stress is that peer learning is very, very important. Everybody will not have the skills to the same degree. So you also get to learn a lot from your batchmates and sometimes even from your seniors, right? So as of now, you shouldn't be worrying about this. You should just be focusing on how should I get into the IIT Delhi BDES or the B.Tech design program. Once you are in there, we'll start worrying about other things.
Yeah, maybe just to add, it is possible that whatever you mean by creative, is not the only thing that is the way to become creative. For instance, I'll give you an example from what I heard from somebody from the Stanford's design school. And there, I think they did say that creativity doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be good at sketching. Creativity may also involve getting into an uncharted territory where you have never got into before, right? So there may be different perspectives also. And I mean, I think some of us also feel that creativity is something that can also be nurtured. So, if you are hardworking, like Professor Srinivasan said, then, you can actually, and there are some formal ways to learn some of these skills also, which are offered in our department. So it is possible for you to learn some of these skills. I don't know, Professor Srinivasan, you can maybe add.
And in many such cases, right, even if you have some skills, once you realize you've come to IIT Delhi, you will have to unlearn and then relearn. Okay, so irrespective of whether you have these skills or not, does not matter. Just focus on getting admitted into IIT Delhi, and after that, we'll start planning for the other things.
Students, if you think you would want to also address something, please do, come.
The next question is related, so we were like,
Okay,
we will go
sure.
with that.
All right, so
Okay, so next question again from Anurag Agrawal. Is there any first year B.Tech student who initially did not have much interest in B.Tech in design, but got admitted to the program as he or she was aware about this program last year and predicted last year that cutoffs of this branch might fall? I ask this question because the student may prefer to join B.Tech in design at IIT Delhi at that rank rather than joining newer IITs.
I would like to answer to this question. So it was not completely like I had no interest in design. I had, but I was like, I didn't at all expect that the cutoff will be this low. But the thing was, actually, we realized the situation that people, those who were interested in the branch, most of them didn't know about UCID examination at that time. And they wanted to get into this branch, but it was like they have no way left at that time. So it's not basically, it's good to be here. The thing is, it's not that we didn't expect that the rank cutoffs will be low, and we are for sure that it will obviously be lesser and in the future years. Yeah.
yeah, maybe if I just want to add, you see, our department has consciously taken this decision that along with JEE Advanced, we also wanted to keep a design aptitude test as a requirement because we wanted our students to also think in designerly terms, being more creative. And so we knew that this might cause us to get lower rank JEE advanced candidates, but then we didn't want that to happen at the expense of them not having design aptitude. So I do understand that some of them may have missed appearing in UC, but I think we would like to have individuals who have both sides. They are good at the technology side, they're ambitious like J folks, but at the same time, also have that designerly skills. Like Professor Rao mentioned, our we would like to have our Da Vinci's here.
Another thing about UCEED, UCEED is only for 12th and 12 plus 1. Any students who are droppers already are not eligible. Like if you completed 12th 2 years ago, you can't write UCEED now. You have your 12th current studying and 12 plus 1 can only write UCEED. We're so sorry. You can't be able to be a part of this branch because of that rule.
Also, regarding the departmental change, if you get into IIT, but if you are a dropper, if you want to change your department, you need to give UCID in the upcoming year. So if you are a dropper, so you won't be able to give UCID the next year. So that is also a thing that if you're a dropper and you're planning that I will just go get into IIT Delhi and then change my department, that won't be possible.
I'll just add to that, bro. But all hope is not lost. You can always, of course, come back for the MDes program, or if you are in another department at IIT Delhi, you could do a minor in design. I'll give my own example. I did B.Tech in mechanical engineering from IIT Guwahati, but then I realized that I had a deep interest in design. So I used to find all possible opportunities to be able to do courses in design, and here I am now faculty here, and then of course I got to learn a lot of design during the future years as well.
Okay, so we'll move on to the next question from Rupesh Vardhan. As IIT Delhi's new B.Tech in Design program aims to integrate engineering with creative design thinking, how do you envision this combination shaping graduates' ability to tackle real-world socio-technical challenges, and what kind of outcomes or career paths do you expect from the first cohort of this course? Yeah.
Sure, sure. Right. So, like we said that the students of this program, we have of course high expectations of them, and of course they are a very adorable batch, and we think that they are going to be doing very well. In terms of how would this shape up, so we'd like to tell you that on one hand they're going to be learning those generic skills to be able to solve any real world problem which is a little intricate or ill-defined or wicked in nature. And while because of their technology research side of education, also from the institute side, they would also be able to take those solutions all the way. Let me, for instance, give an example from an area which is of deep interest to say personally me, or the research group that I work with. For instance, environmental problems. So we are in Delhi. One of the challenges that we face is, say, air pollution. So one is, of course, we try to understand, what are the reasons for air pollution, and there are many stakeholders, be it on the Punjab, Haryana side, crop burning, or the vehicles, and so many things, right? But then on one hand, our students can understand these problems very well, but then we also have students. I'm talking about the PhD students here. Now, these students could also work in these areas if they wanted to. So we thought that, okay, let's develop air pollution monitors ourselves, which is a technology, right? And then develop low cost air pollution monitors, which are almost as good as monitors which are much, much more expensive. Say the low cost ones cost about 10,000. The expensive ones that Central Pollution Control Board of India deploys cost 15-20 lakh rupees. Now we developed those and we have deployed them in many areas so that we've done tests where we can figure out that, okay, yeah, these do work, and then now we will know that how the air quality in different parts of the city are, and then the next steps could be taken. Likewise, some of them can devise more advanced air purifiers. I think so. So this is more on the product design side. I've given you examples, but likewise, there could be examples on the behavioral design side or other sides as well. So I think uh, because of our students' abilities to be able to work on both the sides of the technology side, being ambitious like as a JE student, and the sciences and the research side, so they will be able to understand the problem well and then go all the way if they wanted to become an entrepreneur or get into academia and so on.
Okay, thank you, Jay. Next question. I'm personally interested in hardware design, both the external and the internal functioning, which will include electrical engineering. Is the course a viable option for that? If you are interested only in electrical engineering, then I don't know. You might, if you join this course, you might also have to do other things, right? But if your interest is only in electrical engineering, then we will advocate that you join B.Tech in electrical engineering and undertake a minor in design. Okay. But if you're also interested in the other aspects, then I would say you can join the B.Tech in design program, which will include some level of electrical engineering. In addition to that, you'll also have electronics, you'll have some computing, you'll have some mechanical engineering, and so on too.
Yeah. In fact, I mean, just to add to that, this point, the air pollution monitor that I'm talking about, it is about using electronics, rapid prototyping to be able to build that and use it for many different purposes. So if you want to, like Professor Srinivasan said, go deeper into electrical engineering, then spend 4 years learning electrical engineering. But if you want to use electrical engineering to solve some of the design problems, then maybe this may be a branch for you. And in fact, the way some of these skills are taught are in a very fun manner, and such that rapid prototyping is possible. DIY, that is do it yourself learning, is possible, and then students are able to build electronic devices pretty much at least at the basic level to understand that to be able to produce prototypes for solving problems. In fact, as we speak, the makerspace, one of the facilities that we were talking about, there was actually a PCB, printed circuit board design and fabrication workshop that was going on today there. And some time back, there was a DIY air purifier workshop that was going on. So I think there is I think the emphasis here is on understanding what problems to solve and what are some of the quick ways to be able to approach some of these problems. Yeah, but I think here the focus is on design and not electrical engineering. But yes, you do learn some of these skills because they're important for you to become problem solvers.
Okay, thank you. Utkarsh Raghuvanshi makes a comeback. How will this course aid students with entrepreneurial ambitions? Just going back to Professor Rao's response or initial speech, where he mentioned that to be an entrepreneur, of course, depending on what area you want to pursue entrepreneurship, you will need design skills, you will need some technology and engineering skills, and you'll also need management skills. So this program will primarily focus on the design skills and the technology slash engineering slash science skills. There are some entrepreneurship courses which are offered as a core course, right? If I remember, it's a one entrepreneurship course that is offered as a core course. And if your inclination is more towards entrepreneurship, you can choose more entrepreneurship courses as electives, which are offered by the Department of Management Studies. Yes.
Yeah, just to add to this, as you would see that I think the orientation of this course is more on problem solving, and our students would have the ability to take their solutions all the way if they wanted to, right? So I think entrepreneurship would become a natural side choice if they actually want to go in that direction. In fact, I was giving you an example of a student who I know who did a similar course. Is actually my real brother, so let me say that. So he combined design with computer science, and they came up with a online platform, uh, co-creative, collaborative platform called Coco, and they are actually wanting to make a startup out of it. And so I think many of those, there was another student who I know who was my batchmate from a similar program at IIT Guwahati. He has a startup worth doing very well, over 100 crores. And so I think what he learned was he was passionate about product design. And so using product design and using those, some of those entrepreneurial skills that some of them, of course, he had them in him, but also some of it which was nurtured. Then he was able to come up with a startup, which is now a full-fledged company which is actually into entrepreneurship. So I think it's also a little bit about the mindset side. If you do want to get on that side, likewise, there are a lot of students from design who have medical device-based startups also. So I think those possibilities are definitely there and endless.
Yeah, and just to add to that, I mean the spine of the program is about understanding or identifying a problem, trying to come up with solutions for the problem, and then realizing those solutions, making them tangible or intangible solutions, and then testing those solutions to see whether the solutions are solving the problem or not. I think such a fundamental approach is very, very important for entrepreneurship, where you have to start from a problem and then arrive at a solution and take the solution to the users. And in addition to this, just being in the IIT Delhi ecosystem, there are several entrepreneurship-based clubs, student clubs, right, that really give you the platform once you have a solution that you have tested with your users as to how you can approach the angel investors, and then how do you get the funding and then go to the next level. So there are many more such opportunities beyond this program as well within the ecosystem.
In fact, a very good point that Professor Srinivasan has made. In fact, I mean, IIT Delhi is known for its entrepreneurship culture. It's the best among all the IITs. Most of the unicorns have come from here. So being in, say, the design program and utilizing the ecosystem of IIT Delhi's, be it the entrepreneurship student clubs or the ecosystem in general, I think maybe this course as well as this IIT would help with entrepreneurial ambitions better than maybe no other IIT.
Okay, thank you. Next question is from Himanshu Garg. How much flexibility does the B.Tech in Design program offer for exploring applications in biomedical sciences or healthcare technologies? There are some courses in healthcare technologies which will be offered as departmental electives. Courses such as inclusive design, universal design, they're all part of the healthcare, fall under the healthcare technologies. In addition to these, there are also several open electives, and you can take courses from the Center for Biomedical Engineering and many other departments that also offer courses in healthcare technologies or in biomedical sciences. The Kusma School of Biological Sciences or the Biotechnology Department and so on, where you'll find a lot of relevant courses. So broadly, any B.Tech program that you take, only 50% of the courses come from the departmental core. The rest of the 50% actually comes from outside the department. And in that rest of the 50%, I think some portion, and it's up to the student, depending on where the student's interest lies or lie, the student can then choose a course that then fits his or her appetite.
And maybe just to add, even if you look at our core courses, right, in our electives that are offered in the, I think the subsequent semesters, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th semester, there will be a lot of choices that the students would have. But even if you talk about the courses that the students will do in our department, the core courses in the Department of Design in 3rd and 4th semester, there also, for instance, somebody is taking a prototyping course. They may say as a part of hands-on learning or the course project, they may want to build a medical device. Then there is a possibility. Likewise, say they're taking a design thinking course and they want to actually work on a mini project. They could always take up the problem related to healthcare and work there as well. Likewise, the design projects that are there in 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th semester. Somebody, if they're very focused in healthcare, they may get to do all their projects in this direction. So I think that way, be it core or electives, and like we said, our students could also take courses in other departments like Center for Biomedical Engineering, work with faculty who are working in, say, biomechanics, in, say, mechanical engineering or the biological sciences schools. I think those possibilities do exist.
Okay. I don't see any other questions in the chat box just as I speak. Okay. Somebody sent in a comment. Thank you for answering my questions and sharing such detailed insights about the B.Tech in design. It really helped me understand the opportunities. I'll try my best and prepare well to reach there and reach there. Okay, our best wishes to you, Anurag Agrawal. We hope to see you. Yes, please.
Would like to add something. There was a text about like students would prefer B.Tech in design of IIT Delhi over newer IITs. I would suggest that if you are planning to opt B.Tech, sorry, B.Tech in design as your branch, then it should be out of passion and dedication and the mindset that I want to do this, and not just for the tag that I'm going into an IIT or I'm in IIT Delhi. It should not be that you're seeing that IIT Delhi is higher and all. It is, but you should have the perspective that this branch is something good for me and I would like to learn these things. So yeah.
Yeah. So maybe as closing remarks, thank you so much to you guys for asking us, such insightful questions. And we also equally enjoyed this session. We also thank, of course, our professors as well as our students. They're just 3 months old, but you can see they're already, I think matured enough that they can take on to your questions. What we'd like to also add is, I think there's a B.Tech in design page on our Department of Design website. So do look it up from time to time for updates. Do also fill in the Google form where we can share updates as and when they happen. The students themselves, have taken the many initiatives, and so they also have an email address. I think we'll share the link of that, iitd.btechdesign@gmail.com. So maybe the students, if you could share it in the chat.
Yeah.
And so then you can also reach out to the students if you have questions informally. I think Ajinkya has shared that as well. What we are also planning is, or not we, maybe this was idea from the student side again, and then of course endorsed by our head, to have a YouTube channel, and which is exclusively for maybe B.Tech in design. We can discuss among the faculty as well, where at the very least, we can share some of the more relevant, videos time to time, maybe starting with this open house itself. And we can put it up, which could be useful for you to just reflect and let us know if you have more questions. And are there any closing remarks from Professor Srinivasan?
Yeah, I mean, just prepare well, do well. Our best wishes for both the JEE Advanced and for the UCD exams.
Yeah, and any other students have any more comments? Or otherwise, maybe this session has gotten a little longer. We'll request Tanisha to share.
As we come to the end of today's open house, I'd like to take a moment to thank everyone for joining us. A heartfelt thank to our professors, coordinators, and all my peers for their valuable insights, as well as all participants for their time, their curiosity, and enthusiasm. We truly appreciate your interest in the B.Tech in Design program and hope this session gave you a clear glimpse of what makes us special. If you have any further queries or you would like to know a little more about us, please contact us on our mail ID and on our Insta handle, which has been posted in the chat box right now. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And yeah, so maybe with this, we take your leave and let's stay in touch. Whether you, I mean, if you are able to join our program, nothing like that. But even otherwise, we are in the same community ecosystem. We'd love to engage with you however it is possible. So thank you so much and have a very good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.